Once again, welcome to the Brown Spade podcast. Before I begin, I just want to give a thanks to the subscribers. Please like, share, and subscribe, and please share the content with somebody. We appreciate for the people who have been supporting us, continue to support us, and we will get better. If you have any ideas, please feel free. Put comments in the inbox or whatever, or you can email me. It doesn't matter. So before I bring in my co-host, we also have a guest. She's been on before. She's like a she's like a co-host herself at times. This is we got Mo coming in, but before we get started, I want to do a intro. But the name of the topic today, before I begin, the name of the topic today is called young old folks. So, but before I elaborate on that, I'm going to open it up with a little sample of Cat Williams.
If we could tell you young people anything, we would tell you enjoy your motherfucking youth while you got it. Whatever the fuck you trying to do in your dreams and shit, do it right the fuck now. While your body is still with you. The rest of us would tell you this getting old shit is for the birds. That shit do not let off. Once it's on your ass, that's it. Your ass finna get old right now. Fucked up. Fucked up. We didn't know it was gonna be like this. I used to laugh like shit at my grandfather making all that noise, getting out the bed. I'm over there judging this shit. Look at this lazy ass nigga. You know, ain't nothing wrong with him at 6:30 in the goddamn morning. Now we're getting older, we see. This shit is for the birds. Your mind is still young, but your body has checked the fuck out.
So yeah, that was Cat Williams on the intro. So again, the title is called young old folks. So I was talking to me and Cleve. We always have these conversations, you know, behind the camera. And just scrolling through, you know, and you know, we just always looking for some content or whatever that us generation X and older, the boomers as well, is something about not accepting the fact that now we are the OGs, or now we are the elders, or about to be the elders. So that's how I came up with young old folks. I don't just see it in women, I also see it in men. And so now we're about to get into it. So what's going on, Brother Cleveland? How you doing, Miss Mo? How you doing?
Hey y'all, good to see y'all and good to be back.
What's going on, Miss Mo? I like that hair.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Oh man, you been balling out, ain't you?
No.
She been going hard, y'all. Oh man. She done been all around the world in like 3 days.
I'm checking right after I got this call.
No, but Miss Mo, she been traveling, and she has some great photos, very nice locations. Would you care to elaborate on that before we get started?
Where have I been? Oh, St. Croix recently, and my first time sailing. I enjoyed it. Like 5 days on the water, it was beautiful. A little scary at times, you know, because the 10-foot waves at times, but it was good. It was good to sleep on the boat, experience it. So that was the last one. And next week is Costa Rica. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Travel,
and I want to give a shout out to we have a new subscriber, Willie Porter. So thank you, brother, for the support. Wherever you are, we appreciate you, and put out the word, man. And again, we're just trying to stay positive and just trying to bring something different to the table other than us acting a fool on the TV screen.
Absolutely.
So what do you guys think about who want to chime in first on these young old folks?
Well,
should I go in more in detail?
Okay. I don't know what today's topic was, but it's coincidental that me and a group of girlfriends were in chat, and they were one of them was asking, "Hey, it's gonna be date night with my hubby this weekend. Where should I go?" And one of the other ones started naming like BQE and Cats Cafe. I said, "That's not our spot no more." You know what I mean? Like this. Neither one of them, especially BQE, is not our spot. But at the same time, there are our age group who are willing to hang with the millennials though and exennials. So I'm like, I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
I tried, you know, hanging with the millennials. It's funny. Like me and my wife, she enjoys being around them, you know, because they give so much energy, and you know, she has a little bit more patience than me. I must admit, I'm older. And I think about how my uncles and my mother and you know the older generation, how they used to look at us like, oh my goodness, y'all don't think, y'all just do. And now I'm like, I mean, even when I go to the gym, they call me they call me Unc, or they call me old school, and I'm like, oh my goodness. But I don't know. But I think it's supposed to be like that. We supposed to allow them to have their time, you know, because our parents didn't step in our lane. Our parents didn't step in our lane. They let us be so young and enjoy it. But I see some of our age that we want to take the holidays from them. We want to take the summer from them. Like we just want to be in there. And I can't.
Are we taking it, or are we creating our own? Like we still got our niche though, because we're a different set of, you know, 40-somethings than our parents were. You know what I mean? Like life is different.
Yeah, some of us do, but some want to twat contest with the twerk contest.
You acting like right now. So much twat.
Yeah, I mean twerk. They want to twerk contest with the youth. Like, huh? Like, let them have that.
I mean, I'm just giving an example. I mean, okay, so let me say some things that I see that I feel, you know, in my opinion. And again, it's just my opinion. And again, we all grown people could do what they want to do. I get that part too.
Yeah.
But I do believe everything has its place and time. And I agree with Brother Cleveland. You know, we're invading spaces sometimes, you know, just like there's spaces for men, there's spaces for women, there's spaces for children, right? Can we all agree to that?
We can. But are they not invading our spaces though?
Yes, I think, yeah, at times it has been. But when I look back, you know, young people I could not hang with my big brothers. I couldn't do it. They weren't going to allow me no matter how hard I would try. It's just impossible. But now I could see a guy my age, and I, especially, because in most if you see an older guy hang with young people, it's not all. In most cases, it's not a positive. It's not positive, in my opinion. Now, flip side to that coin, I've seen some sisters out here. You know, they take the picture with their tongue out. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Okay. They taking. I mean, I'm talking about. You know, I've seen people that's my age, and I'm 48 years old, and I'm a proud 40. By the way, and I mean, they taking pictures with their tongue, their mouth. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean,
with you know, with the head turned back, though, like I still got it. And you know, to me, I just feel don't put on your. I'm not saying don't look nice. I'm not saying don't look sexy. I'm saying now it's time to step it up a notch because you are an older person. And again, it's not to single out females. It's the same thing with males. I don't think a guy my age should be walking around with sagging pants. I just don't. You know, I don't think a guy my age should just, the only thing he has in his attire is streetwear. I just don't. I'm saying he should be able to mix it up. I'm from the streets. I'm from the hood. So yeah, I might put on a pair of sneakers or whatever. I'm not a sneakerhead, but I'll put on some sneakers or something like that. But if that's all he walking around with a damn starter cap and his pants sagging, and he's my age, he's doing something wrong. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, one point you made, like, sure enough, we didn't hang with our big cousins who were 20 years older back in the day. But now I feel like there is a slight advantage to that in some elements, not everywhere, of course, but some elements, because the family structure isn't the same, where you would get that guidance from
That is true.
that at Sunday dinner or at the cookout. You know what I'm saying? And families are also scattered throughout the states or in countries now. So, like, for instance, I have a crew called my GR Crickets crew. I met them probably 3 years ago, like one by one at GR Crickets, because that was the spot I go to,
Right.
you know, for happy hour. And it'd be all age groups there, right? But the DJ was actually old school. I don't know if y'all know DJ Master Mitch, but he's a DJ there. So he's old school. He played a little new school, but it wasn't all the current rap, whatever. So anyway,
Right.
I grew friendships with a couple of them. We can travel together, and the age group spans from the youngest is, I think, 24 and oldest 47, and I'm 44. So, but in this group also, we turned them on to investing. We turned them on to saving to buy houses and stuff like that. But we still can go out of town and party too, because GR Crickets is no longer the thing because of the pandemic. But we kept in touch, still do game nights, and we kind of, they glean from us. And then, like you were saying, Noni's, like, you know, it keeps you young too. Not that, you know, we got that much problem with staying young, but it gives us a little flavor. So it's some benefits too. It's just the consistent trying to be young. We're not trying to be young. We're just hanging with them. You know what I mean?
That's a scenario that I'm used to, because my cousin.
You're talking about like something positive and inspirational. I'm talking about these people who don't want to grow up.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're getting a glimpse of how they're dressed, but that might not be their everyday thing, though. You know what? One day they might want to be a little hot pocket and then pull it back in the next day. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I notice about
What's she about to say? That's why your Wi-Fi messing up.
Mo, you can't save everybody, Mo. Mo, you cannot save everybody.
Hey, look, I understand. One thing I appreciate about Mo is she's like my wife. She's gonna find a good side of it. I mean, she gonna find it. She's gonna look at the good side of it, and I love that. But yeah, someone has to, you know, say, hey, listen, yeah, it's fine, you do this, but then you do that, and no, that's
right.
But I'm gonna be on the other side right quick and just ask this question.
And we need that. We need that.
Like, who is it hurting though if they go out and don't want to age right now? You know what I'm saying? Because we all have our choice. Like, if it comes to dating, people don't have to date somebody who still sat their pants, because I would never. You know what I'm saying? And people don't have to date a woman who's doing the butt shot pics. That's why I call them the butt shot pics. Because I'm like, every now and then, but if every photo is that little turn, that's a lot. So I get what you're saying, but
okay. I'm just making sure. I know I'm not just talking out of my head right now. I know I'm making this crap up. Come on now.
No, I get what you're saying. However, the silver lining that, you know, I'm gonna find is it's their life. It's their life. Like, who are they hurting? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not not hurting them.
It's the fact that someone is someone looks up to that person, and it may not be affecting them, but someone's looking up to them. And a lot of time, my youth, they look up to you and they see that and they think that, okay, this is what it should be, and this is how I'm gonna act. But not everyone is doing this all day, every day.
Right.
But those who are doing it, they need to stop. Those who are doing it, because someone is what. If you did this at home by yourself, with nobody watching, fine. But you're on social media. You got grandkids, you got kids. 20 years from now, you're gonna be 60, 70 years old. Them pictures, think about when we was growing up. Think about all the stuff that we did when we was younger. If they had social media and you can go and look it up, at my age, I would not be proud of it. I just wouldn't, because it was some things that we did that was not. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
I get it. However, I think stuff is in people. Like, you got the infamous side pic. That's your stance, please. Like, you gonna come in and you gonna do your pic. Like, when you take a photo, look back at your photos. That's your
I
pic.
know.
So it's the same with them. So to me, like, I get what you're saying, but to say they need to stop, that's relative though. In this day and age, I feel like everybody's not a role model, and they're not aiming to be, right? So
why? And that's the problem. That's the problem.
No, because what if 7 billion people on the planet, are we all supposed to be the same?
No, I'm not saying be the same. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying everyone should be trying to put out their best version of themselves.
But maybe that is their best. Who knows where they came from? Who knows where they came from?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Who knows what they came from?
Trauma.
You know, and it ain't always trauma. It could be that this is like, and them same people could have their stuff together, their finances could be together, have a house, do that. You know what I'm saying? So you just never know. I think one thing, I always circle back to it. One thing our community has to do is stop, to me, judging one another so harshly, and get to know them first, and then change. If they change from knowing you and from relationship, that's something different.
And you say
Okay,
judging. I say you say judging.
Brother,
I say disagreeing. I don't agree with it. I'm not judging them. I don't agree with it.
Okay.
I don't agree with that. I just don't.
What you said?
Like you said, that is
I kind of faded out. Y'all got to excuse me. It's when it get cloudy over here, things get crazy. Cleve, I need you to start over so we can get it, bro. What you was going in on something?
No, I was just saying. Oh goodness, what did I? What?
He was saying they need to stop. He was saying they need to stop. They need to not do this and do that. And
no, I was saying it's people that watch. I said
you were saying that it hurt anybody, and I think it hurts our community.
Yeah,
because you looking at it. I'm gonna tell you why you looking at it from through a different set of lenses, Mo. You know why? Mm-hmm. Because you solo. You don't have any kids.
I wish his phone wasn't going out. Repeat that. You said I'm solo, I don't have kids, and what else?
I say you're like a butterfly. You free. You free.
However, I'm a butterfly, but
I'm talking about. Hold on. Just follow me though. Just follow me, Mo. Just follow me now. So, for example, like, and I showed Cleve some stuff. I was like, Cleve, look at this, man. And these people are grandmothers, right? Mm-hmm. And they had their ass out. They was looking crazy. And I'm like, okay, no, is it hurting me? No, it's not. Of course, it's not. It's not hurting me any kind of way. It doesn't affect me any kind of way. But it's just showing that. But why is it that? Okay, I'm looking at it from this perspective too. Okay, so you don't think that affect that child? Somebody say, hey man, look at so and so grandmother. You don't think kids do that? You don't think kids do that? And then the other side.
He keep going in and out.
I know.
I want to be clear on this. Okay, you there? Everybody there?
Yep.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, why is it that when it comes to us, why is it always an exception to the rule? And what I'm saying, everything ain't necessarily written in stone. When I say rules, some things are unwritten laws. You don't see any other ethnic groups. When they become adults, they're adults.
Okay. I'm not going to call any names, but just like we have the hood, there is the trailer park.
Don't give me the TikTok people and all this. I'm talking about. Huh? I don't see. Listen to me. I don't see Asian people walking around like that. I don't see Asian people walking. I don't see Asian people, older Asian people walking around trying to be young. I don't see it.
I see it.
I don't see older. I don't see older.
Let's reel it back. I want to address the comment. Let's reel it back.
Okay, go ahead.
My being single and now in a relationship and still without kids, that to me doesn't have anything to do. Like, it's not like I'm oblivious to what role models are and stuff. So let's circle it back. I'm from Southwest Atlanta. I got family from all over, going homes, everywhere, right? So I have seen exactly what you're saying 10, 20 years ago when I was a child. They were my family. They still my family. I still love them. That doesn't mean I have to be the same. I know drug dealers I've hung out in the Bluff before with people who just happen to live in the Bluff and they live next door to the drug dealer. Like, we act like everybody's responsible for raising a kid, but I feel like it's better to be well-rounded and see all of this and be prepared for the world and the differences than to be like, oh, we're going to act like it doesn't exist, because you're never going to stop it, for one. And number two, I have nephews who I'm very close to.
I'm not trying to stop it.
But I'm saying, let me finish. So I'm saying I do have family members who are impressionable. I have little cousins, all of that. But there's a whole world out there, especially now that you have social media, that these same people can tap into. It's up to you to control your child's feed and you to control what your child is exposed to. Because I was exposed to all of them.
That's a whole nother subject for a whole nother day. I disagree with that.
I was exposed to all of my family.
That's a whole nother subject for a whole nother day, Mo. You.
It's part of it. You brought it up.
No, you started talking about what kids responsible for and all that stuff. That's a whole nother topic that we could talk about.
I get it. Talking about it's a segue from you saying that I'm solo and don't have children. That's a segue from that to let you know that, and that these people are responsible.
And you're saying that but you knowing and have relatives in the inner city. What does that have to do with anything?
It's what y'all just said. Like, these people are grandmothers and cousins and aunts and people looking up to them. I had the same experience as a child, is what I'm saying. And
again, I'm not trying to change anybody. We're just talking about, you don't think you don't think as adults we supposed to evolve as adults? You're supposed to make the transition or becoming an adult?
You didn't hear this piece that me and Cleveland talked about. How do you know they have not evolved? It could have been worse.
Oh man.
I'm just saying, like, I have seen that.
That's what I was like, wow, like, I mean, you're absolutely right. It could have been worse.
Because the guy who has his pants sagging at 40 something, some of them grew up in a gutter, what they would call the gutter. I'm not calling it the gutter. I have had men tell me I grew up in a gutter and they didn't have nothing and they slung drugs and all that. But now they own their own truck or they driving a truck. They still sagging. That's the exterior piece of it. But their mind has evolved to where they're no longer slinging drugs. They're no longer in the hood.
It doesn't matter if but see, again, that's irrelevant. I don't care what he's doing. If he's 48 years old, I don't give a damn if he's a millionaire. If he's walking around sagging, he's too old for that shit. That's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, I'm not saying I'm an advocate for it. I don't like it either. But what I'm saying is, we're looking at an exterior product and judging it, and that's what
about us. And we should be
keep going up.
I know. He's in DR.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's storming over there. So
got you.
He'll come back in. But Mo, I understand what you're saying. And it gets to a point where we have to as a whole, because that's how I look at it. I look at it as a whole. And when it comes to what people do, it doesn't bother me unless kids are involved. When kids are involved, that's the only time you will hear me speak. I don't care how you dress, how you sag, or whatever. But when you go out in public and kids and the youth is involved and they looking and they watching, that's the only problem I have with it.
So you have children who have seen this probably their entire life. How have you ever asked them, did that make you want to do that?
Say that again.
You have children who have seen these examples of sagging and clothes that might be very revealing and tight. How did that impact their lives? Have you had that conversation?
No, I mean, me asking just one person, it may not affect one person. It could be 20 people looking at this person and only one take on it. That's still one person.
And I get that.
On that lifestyle.
Totally get that. So my point is, though, we don't know, but I'm wondering how often, like a person who is going to navigate in that way. I feel like, and I know Dane says another conversation, but that's a lack of exposure and some guidance somewhere else. It's not up to that person they see, if it's a direct parent, okay, you know what I'm saying? If it is what it is, I get what you're saying. But sometimes I feel like we're, as a community, holding people responsible for the entire community. But
no,
it does sound like that a lot.
Not the entire community, just the part that you play. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Just the part that you play. Just the part you play.
Let me say something. Yeah. I'm
gonna say, if it's a team, a baseball team, and you got a pitcher, the catcher, the shortstop, like everybody have their position to play. And if you're not playing if the ball is hitting the outfield and I'm the catcher, it's no way possible I'm gonna be able to go out in the outfield and catch that ball. But if you're in the outfield, I expect you to play your position and play your part on this team. That's how I feel about the community. If you're not playing your position, guess what? The whole team lose. You're not gonna see a loss with the Braves, and it's gonna say we lost because the catcher didn't play a position. No, the whole team loses, and that's how I look at it as a community. Now, individually, yeah.
I don't look at it like that. I look at it like, just like in the MLB, just like in the NFL, there are 30-something teams, whatever something teams. That team may be losing, but it's a lot of teams winning. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. You got to look at the different records, the different, you know what I mean? So I feel like we feel like all is lost, and we're looking at what many deem as bad apples, as if that's the reflection on the entire race that is bringing the race down. But my issue is, we do these shows, we make posts on social media, we repost stuff all the time, and it's us reposting what we think is the most negative. So, like, how often do we have podcasts and reposts and everything bigging up what we are doing right? You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, but if you choose to bat for and play for a team you think is losing, out of the many teams that's in the same league, that's on you.
Okay. So let me say. So, and I respect your opinion, Mo. I really do. But I'm gonna say this, right? As a black man, we grew up. They call us the Generation X, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the image was not good. What we saw with young black men. Not saying that all black men was doing that. Society didn't know how to distinguish who was who. You see what I'm saying? So when I step outside and I'm walking down the street, how are they going to distinguish them? How are they going to distinguish them from me? Not saying that I'm better than them. I'm saying that the image that is portrayed by them is still looked at, even though it's not me, they still look at me like I'm still one of them. And that same thing applies to women, in particular black women. So yeah, you might have your stuff together, Mo, but sisters look like you don't have their stuff together. Not saying you better than them, nothing like that. But that image that they portray, that is how they look. They don't care how educated you are, but they always going to reflect back to that, because that's what they see the most. That's what they see the most when we're talking about images, when we're talking about movies, when they about these reality stuff. It's always negative image of us, both male and females, in most cases, and most characters being played or being portrayed, whether it's on reality TV or whether it's on the local news, it's being displayed. We're being displayed in the most negative manner. So you and that is a fact. And I don't think you disagree with that.
I don't disagree with it. However, I will ask you this. Who do you think is most responsible today for the flooding of negative images that are on social media and in, visibly able to see about our race? Who do you think is responsible for that today? The most responsible?
You mean as far as race, or as far as what do you mean?
Who? Anybody, like, because I feel like it's us. I'm just going to put there. Us.
It's us. Yeah, it's us.
And it's not just because it's because of how we, even people like, not just like us, like we're saying, we're not saying we're better than anybody, but if
no, not at all.
Issue, if people think broadly that there's an issue with seeing us fight on social media, or seeing people dressed scantily, or seeing sagging jeans, but that is what's being reposted by us. You see what I'm saying? So, and it's by the professionals, it's by the middle, it's by the white collar, blue collar, whatever. It's the people who aren't dressing like that or aren't behaving a certain way that are the ones circulating the stuff the most.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I have a hold on, Clee, hold on. I'm gonna counter that. And that's why we are changing that by having this show.
I get that, and I get that.
That's a start. It's a start. We're not trying to listen. We know everybody ain't gonna be saved. Let me say that.
I get it.
I don't have a cape on my back. I'm not trying to save everybody. A lot of them gonna drown.
The immediate reach. I feel like there's an immediate reach that a lot of us aren't tapping into by treating the problem as a conversation and not taking into more action. Because I feel like the biggest thing to do is start posting more of the positive. Start flooding those things. You know what I'm saying?
And have more conversation, more dialogue like this.
Definitely more dialogue.
Right. Yeah. Because if they hear dialogue, then they can be like, damn, you know what? You're right, man. I am. Because some people not even conscious of most of them are not even conscious of what they're doing.
Right. And then the type of dialogue, because one thing Cleveland and I discussed offline like a week or so ago is I have challenges with people going to others that they deem aren't doing or aren't being stand up in a way and providing correction before providing a relationship. And I see that that's huge in our community, where it's a lot of even on people's posts, they don't create relationship. They just want to talk at people from their social media page.
Right. And judge from afar.
Yeah. So I feel like the first thing it is get to know some of these people. You know what I'm saying? Get to know their story, where they're from, what they do. Let them run with you. Invite them out. Like I've said, it's different crews that I've hung with that before they might not have had something that was a black tie event, but then you invite them to a black tie event and help them pick something out. You know what I'm saying? Because they want some people want to step out of that zone, but there's no one to befriend and have a relationship with and become family with. Because in my point of view, I feel like if we're all trying to create one big happy family, which I believe is possible, we have to first show we care, and not that we're just judging and pointing stuff out because we don't like it and it's making because for me, I don't care what nobody else think about us right now. I care about what we think about each other. That's where it starts.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair, man. I'm just saying, I since I'm a part of this team, there's nothing wrong with also pressing the reset button. There's nothing wrong with correction.
It's not, but I'm saying there's a way. The way that most people in our community try to correct it is known and it is seen that it's obviously not working. How long y'all think our grandmamas and them was talking about don't dress like this, don't do that, don't do that? Has it changed? So, but I'm gonna tell you this: if you start getting a relationship with people,
stayed in their position though.
But it was different. It was
they played their position. So guess what?
It was you,
Cleve. It's funny she said that. Now check it out. Now they're grandmothers, so they're not saying anything because they don't hold themselves accountable. You see where we're going?
I see where you're going, but I'm saying there's still a community here. We're talking about the team. If you're talking about the team, there's a community. And first things first, you can get on the team all day and say you got a pitcher who you know can perform better, right? or you got a point guard who can perform, or a QB who can do better. But if the rest of the team only talking about what he's not doing well, and I don't know about him, he making our team look bad. That's all he hearing. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't feel part of that team. He's not even motivated to even do any different. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times, unless, you know what I mean? So I'm like, if you take somebody under your wing in a way, it's a whole different result. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
That's why I said it is good that we're having subjects like this, because a lot of times on these platforms, it's a lot of BS. You know, they'll get 1 million clicks because it's a bunch of BS. And I think a lot of us got immune to it. You know,
and it's the approach for me.
Yeah, but at some point we have to start trying to stimulate ourselves to make progress. That's all I'm saying. And again, I'm not saying nobody better than anybody. You know, I'm
agreeing with you. I'm agreeing that there should be progress. However, I disagree with. I feel like there's a borderline. It's a very thin line between observation and conversation and judgment. And to me, I don't have a problem with judgment, because judgment is going to happen. But I feel like, what's your goal? Your goal, if it's to change, it can't come from a place of judgment or sound like that to the people who you want to change.
I think for me, I think the best thing is leading by example. And so I hold myself accountable. So I'm showing myself I'm showing the better version of myself so I can be an example. Right. Not saying you have to follow me, just saying, hey, I came from the hood too. I had gold teeth in my mouth. You know, I ran the streets. You know, I got some stories. I got some street stories too. I just don't talk about them. I don't glorify it. So I wanted to evolve. I wanted to do better. I didn't want to be looked at in that negative image. I had to clean my image up.
What made you pivot and change your mind?
Well, I knew, just common sense, really, because again, you talking about somebody at the time, 13 to 17 years old. So you start looking, you know, again, your mind is still developing. So while your mind is developing, if you have what the old folks say, common sense, then you look around and go, damn, you know, when I got out of that element and I went to work and I saw people that looked like me, but they didn't act like from the environment that I came from, then that was automatically, you know what? I need to get my shit together.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and because you have people that it may have been one or two, you know, people that you looked up to, and you know, you had all these people that was working with you, but then you had that one person, you see him come to work every day, and the way he dressed, the way he talked, the way he moved, he was totally different from what you normally see, and it caught your attention. And that happened to me as well.
I knew my part was the negative part. And let me say that too, because some people look at them and say, "Oh, they talking white, or they think they better." I didn't look at it like that. I'm looking at it like, I know where I'm at. I'm coming from the bottom, and I need to be trying to, you know, evolve. I'm trying to better myself. Not saying I want to be just like them, but I know where I'm at. I can't stay here.
And that's how I was when I first started working at Pike Nursery. It's like the guys who look like me. I had a manager, he was older than me, but I'm listening to his conversation. In the beginning, I was watching him because I seen the way he interact with the opposite race. And I'm like, okay, he might be one of those type of dudes. But then when he got around me, he didn't put on that same face. He talked to me where I could understand, but at the same time, he still was talking about the exact same thing he was talking to them about. And he was, this was Demetrius. He had to be like, what, 24, 25, but this man was, you know, he was getting a house built, like he was doing all these things. And I'm like, damn, he young black dude went to Archer High School, like played football, like he was one of the dudes. But I'm looking at him move, and I'm like, even though I'm around all these people and I'm seeing how they move and I'm used to this, he caught my attention. And I'm like, damn.
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, you got to be used to that variance because of where we went to school. You know what I'm saying? So you've seen all that.
It was different because we was young, like we was kids. Talking about what our parents had. We didn't know what our parents with all them rich kids' parents and stuff would do. We just know they had money. Went to their house, they had a pool and a maid and a nanny and all that stuff. We just knew they had it. We didn't. But I actually was seeing a person that was a little older than me that was actually working his way.
He was relatable. He was relatable.
Yes, and I never forget one thing he told me. He said, you gotta always watch. He said, you gotta always watch what your enemies are doing. You gotta watch them. You gotta take their plays and see how you can use them against them. But I mean, he used to talk to me like this, and I'm sitting here looking at him like, okay. And then boom, he bought a house. Boom, got his own store at one time. But I mean, the way he was moving, it was amazing to me. But I had all these dudes around me that was making money. You know, they was out in the streets, and I could have glorified them, but because I was not used to seeing, he caught my attention. Out of all these 30 folks I knew that was out here in the streets, this one man caught my attention.
And I also feel like he also created a relationship with you. You know what I'm saying? Like how he was code switch and had a conversation with you, become relatable, which is what we just was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because if he would have came at you another way, like still with the same voice and kind of, you know, with a tone of da-da-da, you might have been like, oh, he tripped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I had my swim coach do the same thing, Cleve, when you got me thinking now. So my swim coach, he had me same thing because he was from the same projects where I'm from. So when he told me that, you know, and then I go over his house and I see his wife, and you know, he just had a baby at the time, and he was in his 20s, you know, and here I am, this teen, and I went, you know, so I did swimming to really stay out of trouble, not because I was just, you know, and it kept me in condition till baseball season started because I played baseball also, but that was it. But yeah, it was a relationship established. I still have a relationship with him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was somebody that I can relate to. It was somebody that I can identify with. And we shared a similar story because we had a similar background. We were from the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing how you know, a person could change. And that's what I was saying. Like even with the shows that we do, you know, it's guys that call me, like especially when we do the shows on just relationships or whatever, you know, older folks, you know, that it's been guys who's older than us, who I work with, that have came to me and be like, man, I listened to the show, I watched the show. Wow, you know, I think if I would have, you know, looked at it like this, you know, with you, Dan, you said it with Mo or with Eric, you know, just with different shows that we had, people are listening. You know, they are listening and they are actually taking some of the things that we say, life experience, and they actually applying it too. That's why I say it's important that that the image that we put out, it's important.
Because if this show help one person, then we you know what I'm saying, we help somebody.
It's important.
Because somebody can relate to something that something said. It's something that Mo said, some female could get it and grab it, or some male can grab it and go, yeah, you know what? That's right. You see what I'm saying? So we're having positive dialogue, and this is a good example because we're having dialogue. We're not shouting at each other. It's not the battle of the sexes. You got two men and one woman. We're not ganging up or whatever. When you talk, we're listening, you know, we're being respectable. So we're leading by example.
For that. Mm-hmm. I agree. Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of work to do.
We got a lot of work to do. And I'm
excited for the challenge though, because
I want people to have fun. I'm not telling nobody just because you're in your 40s and 50s don't have fun. I have fun. I'm going to continue having fun. But I do know when I step outside of my house, for me, and I can only speak for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I represent my family, but this blackface, I represent the black man.
Yeah.
I represent him. So if I'm out here doing crazy things, you know, for example, I could be down here wilding out. Let's say I could be down here wilding out, and then Cleveland come and he might get a bad experience because I did something. I ruffled the feathers. You see what I'm saying? So we have to be careful. We have to be caution at our action, and we have to understand that now is the time. This is the perfect time for us to build and clean the image. And again, we're not trying to bad.
Maybe he'll come back in.
All right. And I get what both of you are saying. I'm definitely not an advocate for presenting the worst of anything, right? Or presenting something negative. Is the approach and how we look at it and what we do as a result of it that I want to change.
And also, Mo, what I do love about when you, Erica, and all y'all come on it, like the grace that y'all have for, you know, for our people, whatever. I love that because and the thing is y'all should because of y'all are the mothers, you know, of the earth. Y'all this is what y'all are bound to do. You know, y'all nurture. So y'all gonna look at it and say, okay, we're gonna try to nurture this situation.
All right.
We got two of you on here.
I don't know. Hey man, this thing. I'm telling you, every time, bro, it's something, bro.
Yeah.
Every time it's something. Yeah.
But what I was saying, y'all are the nurturers of our community. That's what our Black women do. Like y'all nurture. So I appreciate how you're coming at that angle. But as men, we the way we look at it is we have to go at it at a different angle. We can't go at it nurturing. We have to come at it, you know, standing strong and firm on what we believe. And I think that's the importance of our roles in our community. You know, it's the importance of our role in our community. So I totally understand how you come at it. I mean, you should. You saying something?
Yeah, I was saying that the truth is bitter. And
he's going out again. But and my thing is, I'm definitely not saying, because you know me, Cleveland, I'm a straight shooter too.
Can y'all hear me?
You know, I'm not saying don't say the truth. I'm just saying there's a delivery, like you were saying, my role as a woman, I bring the feminine energy to it. I'm gonna still deliver the truth, but it's a certain way I'm gonna deliver it. I'm gonna create the relationship first, right, so that I am heard. Right. And then do the example. By example is the first thing, then create the relationship, and then have the tough conversations in between creating a relationship and all of that. And a lot of times I'm heard and there's change and I see it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing that I, you know, have to go and say, hey, I did this, I did that. It's just, I build community, you know what I mean? And it's just part of who I am in my life. I have because a lot of people might look at me like, oh, she be everywhere, she do this. The butterfly is a butterfly for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Bringing beauty everywhere.
I think it's a good thing. You enjoying the fruits of your labor.
But it's just not about that either. It's bigger than that. That's what a lot of people see. But I'm doing the very same thing that, you know, you all want to have done in the community, because there's a lot of people who don't think they can travel right now. It's a lot of people who think that they can't live a life of plenty right now.
Can we say that for another show?
Okay, my bad.
That's a good one. No, that's a good one, because we will talk about traveling. So that'd be the next show. How about that?
Right.
Next time you come on, we'll be talking about travel. I'm just saying that's a good topic, right?
Yeah.
That's a good topic.
Write that down.
Yeah. I got you. So we're gonna talk about traveling, because some people think that, you know, you have to have $1 million gazillion dollars, and that's not true. You
know what that topic can be too, on a greater scale. I feel like we are a community that is accustomed to choosing between either or, and I'm one that is and all. You see what I'm saying?
But we also, because we in this council climate, we also have to respect the fact that somebody disagree.
Definitely. I respect that.
It's okay to disagree. You know, we don't have to, you know, I don't have to hate you. You don't have to hate me. We don't have to bash each other, but we can respectfully disagree.
Exactly. And we've done that here plenty of times, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. So
I don't think, I mean, we end up getting like, we're on the same page. We just in different paragraphs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
We
we're telling
just
the same story, you know?
right. Deliveries are different, but we're still in the same direction.
Right.
Yeah. So we almost at the hour in closing, and we got our special guest on here, Mo. You're always welcome. If you want to talk about anything, please feel free. Even if you're trying to sell something, come on here. We got you.
Yeah, I definitely want to. I'm definitely gonna come back out.
So if you're trying to promote something or whatever, whatever, use this platform. It's free.
I appreciate y'all for having me all the time too. Not all the time, but like the times y'all have me, I get excited about it. If I'm available, I'm gonna do it. I'm here.
Daniel then froze up. So, but what I think he was gonna say, Daniel.
We'll see a move when he comes back.
Yeah, let's see, because I think he want to give our last words, but we'll let him go off and come back on to.
Okay, here we go. Okay, go ahead, Mo. Start over, please.
Oh no, we were waiting on you. We knew that you wanted to close out the way you close out. I was just saying I appreciate you guys for having me on. And just hearing my voice and letting me be heard. I appreciate that.
You're always welcome. What you got, Brother Clay?
What's that?
He's like, what you got? I think he wants you to close out.
I say, what you got in closing?
Oh, yeah, just I always enjoy the topic when we all get together. Go to YouTube, subscribe, like, leave a comment, share with some friends. And what I say is, as a community, we have to continue to keep, even though we're older, we are older, but we have to set the example of, what our community should look like. And a lot of times we don't do that. And that's what they show. They show that that's not what we're doing. And it's a small percentage of that's taking place, because if it was that much of us doing that, we would have really dominated, America right now. But that's not what it is. So we have, even that small percentage, we have to go out here and represent for each other, for our community. We are the face of our community.
Indeed.
That's good. Okay, so we open it up. We open up with a small segment of Cat Williams, and we're gonna close out with Miss Wonder Sykes.
Please don't let it freeze up on him.
That's why you don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna have to start that over for those who missed it.
That's that estrogen. And then when you get older, it drastically reduces. You're not producing estrogen like that anymore. Yeah. The less you care, it's the older you get, you're just becoming a man.
On that note, we are.
That's why you don't give a fuck.